Okay, so welcome. Today is day 4 of the Abundance Challenge, and today we are going to go over basically this little verse because when I first did this verse, I got a lot out of it. And then today, day 14 for me, day 4 for you, I realized that if I had replaced God, Christ, yes, if I replaced the God and Christ in the mantra that we're saying here and replaced it with spirit instead, then I think it would have been easier for me to conceptualize to start with. So instead, that would have read this way: through my consciousness of my spirit self, the spirit within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply, thus my consciousness of the presence of spirit within me is my supply. And to me, for whatever reason, that's just easier. There's not this God, Christ, spirit, source thing going on in my brain. And since they're all kind of the same thing, it was helpful for me to do that. Let me know if that's helpful for you or not, and try the mantra and see how it feels inside of you. So, today is a good freaking day. I woke up so pumped on life. I'm wondering if any of you had the same feelings about doing this mantra as far as in the body, if you felt it more so there rather than like the last 3 days, which has been more like consciousness and thought. And this is definitely more body integration, as we would call it. So day 4, the notes that I wrote down is this. Let's see. Okay, I realized that as I was doing this affirmation on my very first time around, that I was stitching up holes and sealing disconnects between myself and my reality around me. And by doing so, I was throwing like golden balls of energy into these places that were holes that I had created as a disconnect in order to feel as if, once again, I was separate, as we had talked about with the soup on the first day, to feel that I was separate and not part of it. So for me, day 4 was really about stitching everything up together and really sealing it together and making it something really integrated and beautiful, and realizing that it can all interconnect and be amazing. And so with that, one of the things that I got from my self is kind of this understanding that the ego inside my head was running this reel, and the images and I guess voice that it was running was life is hard. Life has to be hard, and so there were a bunch of mental blocks that I could tell were up in my headspace. And I was realizing that I thought of this body as like mine, and that I was my body, and that this face is my face, and this ego, like this is my reality, my identity, and that I am this thing. And I was realizing that through this meditation that I'm without source, without spirit. This thing doesn't operate. So what came to me today was very interesting. It was this idea that, okay, let's think about source. And we think about that with this. Through my consciousness, so through my awareness of the spirit self, the spirit within, as my source, creating everything around me, I draw my mind and feeling nature. I was like, what is feeling nature? It's like body, touching, sensing, okay? My feeling nature, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. Therefore, I'm pulling it all in. My awareness of this fact and my consciousness of this fact is pulling it all into the body. Being aware, conscious of the fact that I am running this body. I'm getting chills talking about this, okay? I. What is I in this statement? I being spirit, being God, being universal substance, source. I am running this body, creating, manifesting, and operating it, and the mind. This sentence here is calling to understanding, calling to the mind and the body to go, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Okay? Remember, yes, you are here, but you are not just the body. You are not just the mind. You are the spirit. And without the spirit, there would be no way that you would operate. Now think about this. When people die, their soul, the energy is pulled out of their body. So if you want to talk about spirit as energy, same thing. So the energy is pulled out of the body. Okay, without the energy in the body, what happens to the body? It's lifeless. It doesn't move, doesn't operate, starts to decay, and will turn back into earth. Okay, the mind, what does it do without energy? Stops. It's done. It can't think, can't operate, can't move the body parts, can't create the reality that you see in this planet, right? So the thing that he's teaching here, that he's going, hey, through this statement, let's wake up, let's realize. So he's saying, hey, and by him I'm saying Price, the author, is going, hey, wake up, realize that through this statement, your body and mind would not operate without your spirit, okay? Without energy. And now these last 3 days, we just agreed energy runs everything, creates the reality around you, creates the ability for you to even operate this body, to be here, to see things, is your source, and your supply is money, is abundance. That is energy. So he's going, hey, you are that. I am. So you are energy. He's calling it straight out, which is crazy. It's like, this is such a cool day. I love this day. So then he continues, this substance is my supply. What is this substance? He's referring to energy. This substance is my supply. This energy is my supply. The spirit is my supply. Thus, my consciousness, my awareness of the presence of spirit within me is my supply. He's saying simply being aware that spirit is within your body, operating it and operating your mind is all that you need. Think, spirits agree. All that you need to begin to understand and to begin to operate the field of reality around you, the holographic reality that we live in. Okay, it seems super freaking real, right? We can touch things because of the body, senses it. The body wouldn't be here again without the energy, without source, without spirit. Wouldn't be here. So without spirit, we go to a different dimension. We don't touch, we don't feel. When spirits come here, they don't touch, they don't feel as reality. They're just here as an image that we see or don't see, sense, feel, whatever that might be. Then the same thing with the mind. He's saying awareness, the pure awareness in this mind of the energy that operates it is the supply, is the whole reality, is the abundance, brings everything to you and anyone else. It's powerful stuff what he's saying here. It's powerful. So he's saying be aware. Be aware. So today is all about being consciously aware that the spirit within us and outside of us and all around us is operating this body. We are not our body. Our body is the vessel for the spirit to experience this reality. We are not our mind, our ego. That is a vessel for our body to operate and conceptualize this reality. We are neither one of those things. Instead, the thing that we are is operating both of those and keeping them going so that we can experience it. Therefore, we must sit back and experience it, stay in alignment with spirit, and watch the flow. So when we get in our own way, when we're in our body, we're like, I gotta work to make money, and I gotta do all this stuff. Then we get in our own way because we're like, oh, we're our body. And our brain goes, I need to think of new ways to bring money into my life. Then we're our thoughts. But we're none of those things. We're more than those things. Okay? We are spirit. So something really interesting too, that when I got this book, the gal that introduced me to all this stuff was also like, hey Heather, you also need to read Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Okay? This book so far is amazing. I've only read this much so far. But it's okay. It's amazing, but I love Tolle, however you say his name, but he can be dry. He can be very college school book, and he brings up great valid points, but he can be hard to read. So I will admit that somewhere along the way I was like, okay. And I need to keep reading it because there's good stuff in here. One thing that he does in this book, we're talking about this book right here, he has you calm yourself down and look at the energy that operates this entire arm. And he has you sit there and think about it and get real still and feel it. If you sit there long enough, you can start feeling the pulsing of the veins inside your hand. And then you can feel the muscles and the bones and the skin. And then, if you wait long enough, you feel all vibrating. And that vibrational frequency that's operating this arm that's going really fast is making it real to us. And that frequency is spirit. That frequency is spirit, like we're talking about in week 4, for anyone who's joining me a little late here. That frequency is spirit. That is what is keeping this body, this arm, in reality and keeping it operating. And he's calling us, Price is calling us, be aware. Be conscious, be aware in the mind. Awareness of what operates you, what keeps you going, what keeps this reality going is spirit, is energy. And that is what's keeping everything going. So he's going, hey, wake up. You're not your body. You're not your body like everyone thinks they are. You're not your brain like everyone thinks they are, that gets trapped inside of their thoughts. You're more than that. You're more than that. Feel that. Feel that. So this exercise in tandem with the abundance book on day 4 is incredibly powerful. So this is also, I noticed this too with yesterday, the abundance meditation. That is what I was feeling that night. I was feeling all the energy in my body going. Okay, so look for yesterday's link to that meditation so you can kind of maybe understand this. But sitting with yourself and just focusing on like maybe just your hand, sitting there, pulling your awareness into your hand and sitting with it for a while and feeling all the feelings will bring you to this understanding that it's just energy sitting there going really fast and it feels like it's materialized. Okay? So that is what I got. The last thing I got was also really incredible. If you guys have not seen Awaken on Netflix, it is amazing. Let me see if I can find the guy Awaken movie. Let's see. No. Maybe it's not Awaken. Awake. Maybe it's Awake. Hold on. I would like to find this movie for you. No, what the heck? On Netflix. Yeah, okay. It's Yogananda. Is the teacher. No, so sometimes computers and technology don't work with you. Yogananda. Okay. Paramahansa Yogananda. He was a teacher that came over to the United States in the 1920s and settled up in California, I think actually in the LA area. He put together some sort of school there. I kind of forget what it was, but it was teachings, and he came over specifically to teach Westerners Eastern meditation techniques, and he settled in LA. And he Self-Realization Fellowship is what he settled in LA. Anyway, his book, let's see, what did I forget? I believe it's just his memoirs book. Hold on. The Autobiography of a Yogi. So the Autobiography of a Yogi. I will just put that in here. Comment. Autobiography of a Yogi. Okay, people that have read this swear by it. Okay, so that's commented in there now. So the Autobiography of a Yogi is this really awesome book, and the book is all about how he got to where he was and his travels along the way. And one of the teachings that he has is when he came to America, he goes to a movie theater, and he's, for whatever reason, either he's out of body seeing this experience, or he's actually up in the film room. And he's up in the film room, and he's watching the film reel go, and he's watching the guy that's operating it, making sure that it keeps cranking and going, and then it's a horror film. And the people down in the viewing room theater are watching this horror film, and they're horrified, and they're screaming, and they're feeling all the feelings of being in this horror film, like, oh my God, you know, they're gonna die, because they're right up in it, so close to it. And Yogananda is standing there, and he's like, God, why? What? These people don't realize that they're in a fake film. They're in a horror film. They're having this experience, and it's fake, and it's not real, and the light is projecting through here, creating images that they're seeing out in front of us. And there's someone operating this and keeping it going. Okay? And he's saying this, and he's like, why, God, why? He's like, and so God returns and answers him, and God says, well, everyone has a right to choose whatever they want to experience. And some people want to experience horror in this reality. Some people want to experience that. They have the free will to do so. And as I was doing day 4, I was like, what real do I have going on in here? If light, the energy is being projected out, everything I think, feel, and my thoughts are creating this reality. It's this totally fake holographic reality in front of me, and I'm experiencing it through the energy, through spirit that is helping me create it. What then is sitting in here? What reel am I playing? What movie am I playing out in here? What movie am I playing that's creating lack of abundance? That's creating my reality to be like a horror film? That's creating it not the way I want it to be. So I got really silent, taking 3 deep breaths, and I put myself here. And this is called the seated soul, or the seated self, and this is in the Untethered Soul book. It's called the Untethered Soul. And I put myself there, and I was like, what reel is playing? And it's this old reel. It's like, you know, it looks like a black and white film, and it's going tired of playing. It's like, it's about ready to break. It's been glued together multiple times, playing the same bad reel together. And I'm like, why play this anymore? I don't want to play this anymore. So I hop inside my head. I'm sitting there, and I'm the guy that's sitting next to the reel, keeping it cranking, keeping it going. And then my reality, this body, is seeing it out there, experiencing it, like the people down in the theater room, going, ah, ah, not enough money. Ah! Horror film. Why is this happening? I'm so deeply inside of this. I can't tell that the fact that there's light coming through, projecting this and creating this out here, and this is just fake. Okay? I haven't yet looked away from the screen. I'm still involved. And so I hop in there, and the guy next to the reel, myself, next to the reel, I'm like, okay, time to change this reel. So I get up, go to the other side, pull it all off, spin it up, and I take this reel and I go, no more. And I throw it in the trash. Cover the trash up. Hand that out in front of my headspace, out my forehead, and release it out. Poop, pop. There it goes, to where it needs to go. Okay? And then I replace, I'm like, that feels better already. Reality glitches maybe a little bit. And I throw up this beautiful golden reel instead, and I put that on there. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to put that on there. All of a sudden, the area that the guy's standing in, aka myself, is brighter and lighter. And I start weaving the new tape through, and I'm running it. And I sit down and I start running it, and I'm happier, and I'm running it, and it's projecting out, and it's creating my reality. And it's a brighter, golden reality of abundance. And my only responsibility is to make sure that reel is still going. The images out there are the images of what I actually want to experience in this lifetime. Hence playing that 30-second clip over and over and over again of abundance and happiness and being in California, the one that I talked about yesterday. That's my only responsibility. Because I know Spirit is sourcing all of this and creating it. Moving things. Doing that. So that my body can experience it, my brain can experience it. Okay? And I get to choose. Because I have freedom of will. I get to choose what movie I want to watch in this lifetime. What movie I want to experience in this lifetime. We all have that incredible ability to create our own reality. So guys, that is my long-winded day today, and I hope this was super beneficial to you. I know it was a lot of content, but I'm getting a lot of content as we go along, and I really just want to share with you all because I think more is better than less. It gives you more resources to go do some of this work if you want to. Okay? I love all of you. I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful day. Bye. Happy Friday too. Woohoo! Bye.